like when it comes to movies, what's old is new again. We've now, in the past, 3, 4 years, gotten two Ghostbusters sequels, which seemed like it would never happen. And I saw Ghostbusters Frozen Empire in the theaters, and I rather enjoyed it. There were some things that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, especially the fact that I hadn't seen Afterlife, which I saw recently after the fact. So I have a better understanding of some of the characters and where they came from. But I enjoyed that nonetheless, being a lifelong Ghostbusters fan. We have so many Bad Boys, Ride or Die came out. And again, I saw Bad Boys for Life, which is really should be the other way around. Back when it dropped in 2020, that was actually the last movie I saw before the pandemic. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Bad Boys Ride or Die. I thought it was very good. Definitely worth my ticket price for when I went. So when they announced that, they as in Netflix announced that there was a fourth Beverly Hills Cop movie dropping, I was you know a little hesitant. Netflix has a hit or miss record when it comes to movies in general, especially the big budget movies. But the more I saw of this over the past few months, the more I became excited for this movie. And I just literally, at the time of this recording, I just finished watching it maybe 15 minutes ago. I felt like I was 9 years old again. I was 9 years old watching Beverly Hills Cop 2 on my father's VCR. Yes, my parents let me watch a whole lot of things I probably shouldn't have watched in my formative years. It's kind of why I'm crazy now. But it felt like a Beverly Hills Cop movie. I can't believe it has been 30 years since Beverly Hills Cop 3. I don't remember Beverly Hills Cop 3, and there's a good reason for that. It was absolutely horrible. This is a movie that I sat there watching, and I said to myself, especially after watching Bad Boys Ride or Die a few weeks ago, why is this not in the movie theater? Like, this is a movie I want to see in the movie theater. It was, you talk about nostalgia movies trying to capture the feel and sort of appeal of their predecessors. This did it 100%. Everything down from the music to the pacing to the acting, with all the old characters returning, the introduction of the new characters. Gordon Levitt is great in this, and I forget the woman that plays Axel Foley's daughter. She was fine, but that's another conversation. Kevin Bacon hammed it up as the main villain, and you knew he was the main villain. Look, you met him maybe 10 minutes in the film. You knew he was the main villain. And look, there's no spoilers. You already know he's the bad guy. That's it. It was a Beverly Hills Cop movie. I felt like I was watching Beverly Hills Cop 2, straight up. And if I remember correctly, Beverly Hills Cop 2 was directed by Tony Scott. So rest in peace. So it had that same vibe, that same sort of pacing, and excellent use of music to set the mood. This this being on Netflix, it was the service of this movie. Not Netflix, but this should have had a theatrical release, and I think it would have done very well, based on how good this movie is. It's one of those things where I don't know what Paramount was thinking by not wanting to put this movie out. It was that good for me. For me as someone who is a child of the '80s, who remembers the first two, who remembers how good they were. This was such a lot of times I hate paint by numbers sort of thing, but that's when it's like devoid of any sort of fun or originality. This was a quote unquote paint by numbers Beverly Hills Cop movie, but that was in a very good way. Eddie Murphy was his Axel Foley, and a lot of his things have been hit or miss lately. It was nice seeing him in his role. He just really killed it in my opinion. Judge Reinhold, it was nice seeing him again. I can't remember the last time I saw him in anything. Does he even act regularly anymore? I don't know. Bronson Pinchot back as Surge. It was that whole segment was just really funny. They had a lot of callbacks to the greatest hits of the series, but it worked. It worked so well. A lot of times nowadays, when you have movies that are based on these nostalgia properties, who just go back and just try to redo things that have been done before, a lot of times they fall flat. I even felt that when watching Afterlife. While I enjoyed it, and I wish I would have saw it in the theater, I think I have a better appreciation for it. Seeing Frozen Empire, there are a lot of things that felt like callbacks to the original Ghostbusters that just kind of fell flat to me. Like I understood why, and maybe I'm not the person that should really be entertained by that. And maybe I really should, since I'm someone who saw Ghostbusters as a kid in the '80s, like, opening weekend. I think we went anyway, but it fell flat. The callbacks in this movie had me cracking up, from Surge to even the scene right before the end credits is such a callback to the first movie. It was Beverly Hills Cop Axel F, and I hate the name. It should have just been Beverly Hills Cop 4 and called it a day. But if you are a fan, particularly of the first two movies, this is the movie that you'll definitely like. My only drawback with this, I think that it maybe ran 15, 20 minutes longer than it should have. But I was okay with that. It at the end of the day, it felt like a Beverly Hills Cop movie, and that's all that anybody could really ask for. If you have watched one of the first two movies, again, especially the second one, I think the second one really defined what the series could be, more so than the first one. This is one of those times where I think the sequel outdid the first one as far as from a thematic standpoint. And I attribute a lot of that to director Tony Scott. If I do have that correct, I don't think he did the first one. But this is definitely a movie that is a worthy sequel to those original two movies. Again, act like Beverly Hills Cop didn't exist. Come on, the amusement park and everything. Really? Really? Totally out of character for Axel and everything that was going on. But yeah, so that's my take on Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. I highly recommend it. I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was just a really good movie. Now,